Welcome back, realvacantland.com. This is Luke Smith, and I've got another property for you. I've got to say, this is my favorite property on the website because it's on the water. Everyone asks for property on the water, and I love property on the water. I grew up on Lake Michigan, and I love looking out and watching the storms come across the water when they came, and the waves and the whitecaps. And I did a lot of fishing as a kid, and I had a little boat and a little dock, and I'd take off all over the place. If I wanted to go get a movie to watch, I'd take my boat down the coast, go to a local park and park at that park and hike through the park up across the street to the video rental place. Like, I used the boat to get in and out and go places before I was old enough to drive, right? So I grew up with that. I love that, and I love that waterfront. So I've always liked to be near around the water. I can't afford it to be on the water all the time, but I love that relaxation that happens when you look at a large body of water and the movement and the action, the birds and the life and everything that happens. And this body of water is at Puget Sound. The land is here on the coast. We've got beachfront. We've got a couple different size properties to choose from. This one today is that I'm presenting is 11 acres. Just up the coast is a ferry that goes across the strait here over to Seattle. And Seattle and this whole greater area has, it's like fourth or fifth highest paying tax people on average in the country. What does that mean, Luke? That means that these people make a lot of money. They make money. The incomes are really high in this area, in this region, the whole state of Washington. People that make high incomes like to go to Washington because they get to keep more of it, because the state of Washington doesn't tax them on their incomes. They tax other things. They do a little bit of tax on land transactions, real estate transactions. They tax other stuff, but they don't tax your income like California or New York or other states do. And so high income people tend to congregate in Washington, and that's an amazing thing. Some people don't like that. Some people like that. I think it's beautiful that there's a lot of people in the area that make a lot of money. It's inspiring. It's enlightening. It tends to be a highly educated uh, populace that makes sense in a lot of regards. And there's a piece of the population that probably feels like they're outside of that because they don't make enough to keep up, and they get frustrated and everything else. And I'm pontificating. Let's get back to land. So this land is on the water, and let's jump into the website and let's talk about this thing. So I'm on realvacantland.com. I made a lot of made a lot of TikTok videos over this last week, and I highlighted these properties in the Washington area. And people are always asking, what about over here and what about over there? And we're getting rid of a lot of these sold properties. We've been removing them all week long. We've been removing sold properties off the website, so it's not so cluttered, and just focusing on the ones that are for sale as best we darn well can. I want to try to sell everything in inventory and start over. So I'm zooming in, and we got the properties here. We got 3 properties left. One in the middle is sold. We sold one, this one here. We sold one of these lots, $145,000. We've got a package of 2 of these lots in the north part we're calling A and B. That's kind of like 180 foot of water frontage, or 160 foot of water frontage on that one. The one I'm talking about today is got, again, 160 foot of water frontage and this big chunk up behind it. Put it together, it's about 11 acres. There's a road that comes down the hill that feeds all these properties. There's a power line that goes through there that feeds these properties. There's a septic field in the back. There's easements for everybody to use this septic field in the back. Everybody's got their own area to put septic in that's tested. It made sense to put septic there in the past. You'd have to do a new updated septic plan to put them into those areas that are set up for your easement and ready to go with current, those things only last for a year. And that was like, 10, 15 years ago they did those tests. So you just update it, and then you put septic in. There's easements to run septic from where you put the house back there. There are 2 water wells in this property. There's easements from those water wells to feed all these lots along the water here. There's easements for the road. There's easements for the power line. There's easements to put this all together. The paperwork's all there. These lots are all legal. They've all got their own APN numbers, their own tax numbers, tax ID numbers, if you will. This road feeds 7 or 8 houses next door. People keep asking about the road. The road feeds a half dozen houses already that are using this thing. And so it works. It's there. You can see it. You can drive it. You can touch it, feel it, and everything else. Okay, so why am I bringing this map up? It's because that's how I like to look for properties. People call me all day long, and I just keep zooming in and out on the map and jumping into the properties they're asking about. Okay, so this is the property. It's 11 acres. It's in Kitsap County, Washington. We're asking $279,999, basically $280,000. Let's round it off, right? To be real. So there's phone number up here, my name and number if you want to call me and ask questions. I can send you the realtor. I got a realtor in this area that will give you tours and answer questions too. I'll try to answer as many questions as we can. Got engineering on each one of these house sites for foundation, like how you can do the foundation. It's just slab on ground, basic, simple, cheap, basic foundation. You don't have to do any crazy stuff. It's not a landslide area. It's not a big hill. It's nothing special. It's just land you could build a house on. Let's pull up some pictures of this. This is a view of the road and the driveway going off of the power line going down the driveway, and the neighbors putting their trash cans out to get the trash man to take it away. This is the road out in front of the property. Like as you take the driveway up and the driveway hits the road, it looks like this. I think we'll do some street view and look at that as well. I already showed you some maps of where we're talking. Here's a map to Port Orchard. Port Orchard is, let's see, 10, let's call it 10 miles away. A couple different routes you could take to get to Port Orchard. Bremerton's just across the water from there. Southworth, the ferry terminal I was talking about, just over my head up here. This ferry terminal will either take you to Vashon Island or straight over to Seattle. This is the property here. You could drive up the coast and take the ferry terminal. You can go to town. You go to, I don't know if they're doing, plays and operas and all that kind of entertainment and concerts and stuff in town yet or not with state of health and people's worries. But if they are, you could go for that. You go for restaurants. You could go for shopping. You could go for a meeting at the office. I don't know if you'd want to commute there every day, but maybe you do. You could listen to audiobooks and play on the internet while you're going, right? So here's some more maps. Here's a property down here. The trail comes along and feeds these properties as well as the rest of the houses at the end of the road here. Here's a cartoon of a piece of the property. There's two. So this originally I had these listed as a whole bunch of little lots along the water. And now I've got this grouped together. So there's two lots and the lot behind it. So this one is a piece of it. Maybe I should update that picture. So here's a picture from above looking down, and the water looks nice and clear down here. People from the area tell me that you can see orcas swimming by occasionally. If you watch, every now and then you'll see the orcas swimming by. I mean, that would be an amazing sight to see, right? Sit out there with your coffee in the morning and watch Mother Nature put on a show. Here's the same picture I was showing before. Here's some more pictures from above. There's mountains in the back. There's mountains on the other side too. This is a relatively flat shelf here. You could build a house and walk out to the beach. You're not on a big friggin' cliff and, wind whipping up it and concentrating right through your front doors. Here's a picture of one of the two water wells that's on the site. They've got motors in them. They're wired up. I had a guy go test them. And they're water wells. What else can I say? You'd probably want to get some modern pumps in there. The pumps have been sitting for 15 years or 10 years or something. Here's a view of Mount Rainier. I believe it's Mount Rainier. Out across Vashon Island. Vashon Island is just across the canal from here, and so you're looking at Vashon Island and the big mountain out across the way. So here's a shot from above, and you can see Seattle over here. I'm not sure you can see Seattle from the beach line, but from a little bit higher elevation, you can see this Seattle skyline just up across the water there. Nice sailboat too. That'd be fun to go for a sail today. That'd be good. I don't know if that's the same well or the other well. There's two wells there. Houses on both sides of these properties. So there's numerous house lots along here. I got a package of 2 lots, a single. I sold a single, and then 2 lots I'm talking about right now in the big chunk of land in the back. Here's one of the neighbors, and they're building just above the water line, like my family did in Michigan, on Lake Michigan, and you're just looking out over the water. It's a beautiful height, in my opinion, to be at. It looks like they put a seawall in there to maybe keep some of the water back. But you have bonfires and just go enjoy life watching the water. A lot less psychiatrist action needed if you can sit and look at the water a lot more often, right? Okay, so here's the houses on the other side, nice houses, and then the land in between. Some more pictures from above. There's houses on the hills back behind it, and then the property out down by the water. So here's a cartoon of the lots we're talking about. So I've got on the website right now, lot A and B is up for sale as a package, and then C is up for sale as a single. And this is 80-foot wide lot. This makes I believe it's 160-foot wide water frontage here. And then A, B, C, D sold. We sold that one for 175 grand. And then E and F are what I'm talking about right now. So these two makes 180 and 80 is 160 foot on the water for the two lots, and lot G in the background. If you wanted to get cute and you wanted to get creative, you could probably build a house in the lot in the back. You could probably build a house on lot E and F. You could probably fit 3 houses on here. I've got engineering for 2 house pads, one on E and one on F. There is some of the engineers thought they found another place to build kind of where the road does a turn over here in lot G. And theoretically, maybe possibly you could put another house up there if you're trying to split this up and, or build a family compound or something. But I think lot G is more just like where you keep some woods, have nature around, right? Just put that off for nature. Maybe you put a boathouse back there, or a garage up top or something, so you don't have to bring your motorhome down the hill and back up and down and that kind of stuff. Okay, so what we're talking about now is lot G, E, F, and G. E, F, and G is the package I'm talking about right now. Together, combined, it's about 11 acres, or just over 11 acres. Here's a view of the street and some more. Let's jump. So I think we're gone around. Here's one of the many TikTok videos I made. If you want to go watch some of my stuff on TikTok, some of these videos have like 500,000 views. They get crazy numbers. Lots of questions, me answering lots of questions. That's basically what it is. So let's bring up my maps. So here, remember that cartoon I showed you of E, F, G. So E, F, and G would be the 3 parcels, 3 tax parcels put together make the property I'm presenting here. So the road comes down through the big one and gets to the green and the blue and goes through the rest of them and over to these houses. These houses are using the same road. So you could put a house, you could just fill up 2 lots with a big house, or you could put a normal size house on one of the lots and or build in the back. So you can see these houses over here for reference, if you will. And there's the property. There's the beach line. I don't know if you could put a dock out there. I don't think your people are really putting docks out there, but the water goes up and down and stuff. But you could ask, you could research it, and you could probably figure that out. So for whatever reason, I noticed just when I was making this video, as we're getting this kind of dark, here we go. We'll get a little bit better view here as we get into different angles of Google, but it's, for whatever reason, if we go and we open this up in actual Google, so if I'm going down to the corner, if you see down in the bottom corner over there, it says Google, I'm going to hit Google, and that opens it up in the internet web and not on my website. My phone thinks I'm asking it to do something because I said that word. So so here's the property, and then in here we can look at it in multiple different ways. We can go 3D. You hold down the control button, you can go 3D. So here's the power line, the road coming in, and you can start seeing the topography. This is not a big crazy hill. There's houses up here on the hill, but the road comes down the hill, and then it goes down to this flat shelf that's kind of in front of the hill to get to the water. Like these houses have built close to the water, and this house is built close to the water. This land we're talking about is in between these houses. We can look at it from multiple different directions. You can see the hill is back here. The houses are, the houses could go along here where these big trees are. So you could be in between some nice big trees looking out over the water. These people have done a couple different steps up and down along here to figure it out where they want to put their houses. And each one of these lots, I've got foundation engineering of this is a good spot to put a house. They dug holes, they tested the soil, they looked at it, they did the science. They said this will hold a house. The house fits here, and these are, professional, expensive, licensed people doing their opinion, not Luke Smith opinion. So there we go. There's the property. You're looking at it from different angles. And you can go look at this from different angles by going to the website. The link is in the description of this video. I'll bring you back to the website, and you can look at this and look at it and zoom in and out and around and everything else. So there's the property. There's Vashon Island, and I think we're going to see the mountains off to the sides here somewhere. You got mountains this way, Seattle. Maybe that's Rainier. I think that's Rainier there. But I'm not 100% sure on the mountains in Washington. I'm not that good at geography. I won some geography bees as a kid, but some of it's over my head. Okay, so we're back to the website. This isn't an online checkout kind of price. You got to call me and I'll get you in touch with the realtor, do the paperwork, take it through the title company and close the thing and make it happen. Elevation 30 foot, GPS. We got GPS here if you want to go click on that and go look at it. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at street view of this sucker. So let's start it over again. Let's do Google. Well, no, we can do it right here on the website. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go back to the right orientation. So we're on ruralvacantland.com, and I'm going to take the little Google guy. I'm going to drop him in here. Oh, let's do these too. We've got 3D photos of it. So you can click on the bubbles and you can go look at this thing from multiple different angles. So here's a 3D, all the way around shot. It's like a sphero shot out in front. So that's the property. That's one of them. This is in Google Maps. And so let's take the Google guy and let's do the other one. We hired a drone guy to come take pictures of this one. He took these pictures. So here's one from straight above. I wish I had one from like the beach, but this is, you can go play with each one of these. And then let's see if this one works. So here's one from above. You can see his car down there. You can see the driveway. And I'm going to get lost in here. 3D pictures throw your orientation off, right? So there's a shot of the trees and the beach and the line and the land's down there under the trees. Okay, so I wanted to go back here to the street view. So we're over here at the street, and let's blow this up. Okay, so we're at the street. This is the turnoff. Here's the sign. So when you're driving up to it, you're going to see the sign on the other side of the street. It says Goat Trail Road. It's private. It's private road. It says PVT, and there's the same trash cans that were in the view. And this is View Park Southeast and View Parks Road Southeast. So this is the road. They're trying to say with that sign, the road, stay on the main road. Don't go down the little road. You're going to get lost. So here's the trash cans. You could drag your trash cans up here. And some people say, I don't want to drag my trash can that far. You can get hooks that go on the back of your car. Like they just slide into the trailer hitch. And then they'll hook up to the handles. These things have handles on the back. And you just plop it into you'll tip the trash can over and you hook it into the handles, and then you can take the trash can home that way when you have a long driveway. And then when you want to bring the trash out and it's heavy and full of junk, you put it back on that hook and you drive your car or truck or whatever back up here, and you can drop trash cans off. Sometimes you get two or three trash cans on those hooks, the rack you put on the back of the car. You can buy them on Amazon. They don't cost very much. Maybe they're stuck in China right now, but you know what I mean. Here's the mailboxes for the people living down the road. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them, but one of them might be this house. So I think it might be 8 houses with mailboxes are using this road. I mean, that's That's not crazy traffic or anything. It's just saying the road is usable. They built house. They got their supplies down the road. They're using it in the summer, winter, everything. And the power lines there going down the road. There's telecommunications box. It's like AT&T special box right here. It's probably DSL going down that road as well. Maybe even cable. So here's a shot and look around the area. Okay, enough about that. I wanted to pull up some comps. I started looking around. I pulled this up on Zillow, and here's one that's just up the coast from us that sold. $270,000. This is 4 acres, and they've got a little strip of land coming out to the ocean. That's a house lot just like us. But all these, this is a topography map, right? And so I research land all day long. People are always trying to sell me their land. I'm always trying to market land. I'm looking at land all day long. I look at these a lot. Doesn't mean I'm an expert, just maybe used to them. So all these little lines here, this is Big Friggin' Hill. This is Big Friggin' Hill is what they're saying. And then this fatter spot here, that might be a spot you could build a house, or maybe up here you could build a house. But I don't know what the access is to this one. Because I think the goat trail, see the bend over there is where goat trail comes down and around. So this is just north of us. This lot here is 4 acres. It's got the same kind of water frontage, and it doesn't have the water wells, I don't think. It doesn't have the septic like we have. I don't think it's got the power line. I don't think it's got the utilities that we have, but it's a good size. But it's back off from the water. It's got a bunch of these lots along the water. This one went for $270,000. So $270,000 for 4.17 acres. I'm talking about 11 acres. I'm asking $279,000. And we've got 2 water wells. We've got a whole bunch of septic tests, like 9, 9, 8. I think it's 18. I think it's 18 different spots. Don't count me on that number, but like 18 different septic tests on the property that all pass. Like, yeah, you can do a septic here. That's hard to get into the hills. And so water, engineering, septic, power, road that goes right up to it and through it. And, we're asking like 10 grand more than that other one. And we're more than twice the size. So a lot more utilities, a lot more size, I think a lot more usable, but you can be the judge of that. Go look at the comps for yourself. Okay, so that one was 9464 Southeast Goat Trail Road. So that's the same road at the close to the end of the road. Oh, here's a map of the road. Okay. So as our road keeps going, it goes through this property. They call it an existing gravel driveway. So our property is down here off the map, and their property is up here. And then one of these properties on Goat Trail Road that's, see where it says 5-foot wide trail? One of them up along here sold for 45 grand. No access, no utilities, nothing going on. But that was one of the low prices in the area, 45 grand. And it was like a half an acre. And let's see if I can bring that up. 45 grand, 0.48 acres. So if you look at this, it's like, oh, geez, Luke's trying to rip me off. But it's not, because you can't get there. So that property we were just talking about is right here. It's not showing it. So the one we were just talking about has a strip, like this strip, right? Going back, and then it's got this triangle. See how this triangle is here? That's the same triangle that we were just seeing on the map. And then this lot is one of the ones that's underneath it. Good luck fitting septic into 0.45 acres right on the water, right next to the water. Like ours are, the single lots we have are kind of like a half an acre, but we've got a big septic field in the back. So let's go back to mine. Okay, so we've got a single one for sale here, but we've got like a 3-acre field back here that's relatively flat that you can put septic into, with easements that go back here to put the septic into that property. And so you could run a septic, you build a house here and you run a septic line through the easements to the place that's easemented out for you to put a septic. So these half-acre lots are not just half an acre. They're a lot bigger because you've got easements going all over the place. Now, in retrospect, those easements are on this 11 acre that I'm talking about right now. So you've got a nice big flat spot over here in this side of the property that you can't use because it's all easemented out for these people to put their septics in. And if you put your house down here by the water, like I expect you would, you're going to put a line that goes along that same easement over to that field, and you're going to have your designated spot. You already have, it's all mapped out. I've got maps and the easements and the surveys and everything, and the septic tests that show that the soil works for it. You've got your designated place to run the septic line and put your easement, put your septic field in, and then a second one to have a backup septic field. So if your first septic field fails or something goes wrong, you've got 100% backup. And each one of these lots have 100% backup. Okay, so let's keep going. So that was this one. I think this one, you're probably going to have enough room to maybe put septic up in here or here and maybe a house down on this cliff or something. But I don't think you're going to put the house in here because the road's right through here and it's really steep. We're down here and it's not as steep. That's where one of these in here went for 45 grand and it says the road doesn't work. Here's another comp. So this one is 2 acres, and this is the road I was just showing you that it turns off down to our road. So this one went for $165,000. This is 2 acres. This is not on the water. This is in the area. So if we take the water out of the equation, a house site, it's a good size house site, 2 acres house site with a water well. It's all staked out here. It looks like they've done some studying to figure out what you can do. It's got the AT&T box like ours does. It's got they cleaned it up. They put a water well in there and they opened it up so you can see where you could put a house. And the thing, so they cleaned out a spot to put a house. Got it ready for you. They put some gravel in there so you can drive back into the property. There's a road on 2 sides, power line, and nowhere near as secluded as the ones I'm talking about. It's not on the water. You're not going to see the orcas swimming by and everything. But you get 2 acres, and 2 acres just across the street, just up the road, went for 165 grand. That's a good point of reference for what's going on in the area. This one is the most recent trade because, we just did this one. It's $145,000. I sold one of the lots that's got waterfront lots, sold for $145,000. So you're getting 2 of these lots and 10 acres behind it. So 145 plus 145 plus 10 acres, you can do the math. Let's go back and so those are the I got one more comp. What was this one? Oh, this was the I don't know what this one was. I'm getting lost. Okay, let's go back to the website. Too many things to juggle in my head. 11 acres, 279, basically 280 grand on the water. I think we've got the details. You can go look at comps. I've got links there to go look at comps on multiple different websites. Got GPS to go drive it. And that's basically it. Feel free to call, ask questions. This one is, I've been answering lots of questions on this one. I think as people can wrap their heads around it, they'll see the deal and they'll take off with it. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com, bringing you some of my favorite land. See you in the next one. Bye.